my channel. I am Gina. I am the owner of Cozy Cabin Creations, and I would just like to welcome you. If you are new here, thank you for joining, and if you are returning, as always, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. What a lineup we have today. You guys, I have been crocheting my little heart out, and I have some really great information for you on these 4 patterns that I tested for my challenge of crocheting new to me patterns that I have had in my files for a while, and I wanted to finally make them, but I also wanted to finally weigh the yarn, include the time that it takes me to make them, and see just how much these plushies actually cost me to make as opposed to what I am selling them for. Upcoming markets, because I want to try and sell these at a price that is profitable for me and also a price that is reasonable for my buyers. So let's get into it. First thing that I crocheted, Monty the Moose. How cute! Look at Monty with his little antlers. Okay, so Monty the Moose is by the Cozy Stitch, and I will have the pattern linked below as usual, and I have some notes on Monty. So for Monty the Moose, I used Premier Basics Chenille, and I used the color Steel Cut Oats and whatever cream color they had. I don't remember what it's called. It might even be called cream. I'm not sure. Cream or ivory. That's what I used for his antlers. For Steel Cut Oats, I used a total of 122 grams, which came out to $3.17. For the cream, I used 17 grams for the antlers of the cream, and that came out to 44 cents. Okay, the eyes, they were 50 cents. Okay, that is a grand total in product of $4.11. So that's what it cost me to make him, minus the stuffing, because I can't get into the stuffing right now. I'm just gonna do this for now and then deal with the stuffing maybe at another time. I don't know. But so I did, it came out to $4.11 to make Monty. Okay, Monty the Moose. So now I should technically, if I pay myself, $20 an hour to make him. Okay, it took me about 2 hours to make him. So that would be $40. So $40 plus the $4.11, let's just say $4. Technically, I should sell him for $44. Okay, that's what I should sell him for to get my $20 an hour. Is this what I would sell him for? No, I would not sell him for $44. That is not what I would normally sell these for, and that's not what I have been selling these for. What I would have sold him for is $25. Okay, so that would be a $19 loss, which means my profit that I would make from him, minus, you know, taking out everything that it cost, the $4 that it costs for me to make him, I would make $21. Okay, which when you divide that in half, because it took me 2 hours to make him, I am now making $10.50 an hour to make him. So is it worth it? Is it worth it to keep him at $25, which is what I would normally sell him at, or do I bump him up in price? You guys let me know. Let me know what you think. I'm going to give you all the statistics and then I want you guys to let me know what you would sell him for. Okay? So I would sell him for $25. That's what I would sell him for. Now, with the information that I know, I'm thinking maybe I'll sell him for $30 and see how it goes. Again, my area is, you know, not the best with the pricing, and so I have to take my chances there. I have to see, because I do want my stuff to sell. I don't want to undersell it, but I think a $21 profit off of him, it's not too bad. I mean, I wouldn't be upset about that, making $20 off of him. Let me know what you think. Okay, I should be charging $44 for him. That's what I should be charging. All right, Monty the Moose. Is he not adorable? I mean, he's so cute. Little Monty. We'll put him back here. Hopefully he can stay in view. Okay, so that's my first one. And that is Monty. The second one let's do BK Crochet's Itty Basil. She's so cute. Oh my god, I love this bear. Or he. I guess it's for a boy. Well, a boy or a girl, but look at the little tail. I did a little bit of eye embroidery, just a tiny, tiny bit. Oh my gosh. Now, I did, in her pattern, he is considered like a lovey, which you don't stuff, okay? You don't stuff the arms, you don't stuff the body. I think you might stuff the legs a little bit. You definitely stuff the head. I stuffed the body because I didn't want to make a bunch of loveys, and I know that she probably has a pattern out there for him as a stuffy, but well, maybe she doesn't. I don't know. I'm just assuming that. But I just wanted him to be a little bit stuffed. So I did stuff him. I stuffed him a very little bit just to give him a little bit of body. And to make his head not so floppy, because on stuffies, their heads are so, not stuffies, I'm sorry, on loveys, their heads are just so floppy. And I don't know, I don't really care for that too much. So this is Itty Basil. I love the tail. I think that's so cute. And it's got like a little booty once you stuff it. It's so cute. Okay. So, Itty Basil. Let's get into her, him, bear, it. Itty Basil Bear. I used caramel. Okay, again, Premier Basics chenille. I used caramel, and I used white, the cream again. I used the cream again, and I used their, I think it's called cocoa. The brown, okay, they're dark brown. I wanted to write down the names of like the exact names, but I didn't have the wrapper for this brown anymore, but it's the dark brown. I think it's either cocoa or chocolate, something like that. Espresso, I don't know, whatever their darkest brown is, that's what this is. It's not black, it's a dark brown. It almost has like a reddish tint to it. It's a warm brown. Okay, so for Itty Basil in caramel, I used 82 grams, which came to $2.13. Okay, the cream, I used 10 grams, which came to 26 cents. And the brown nose, I used 5 grams, which came to 13 cents. The eyes were, again, 50 cents, okay? So that brings him to $3.02. So let's just say $3. So $3 total to make him. I am actually shocked at how little it costs to make them. I really thought that it cost the cost for making these in yarn was more than what it is. So this has definitely been a little bit of a wake-up call for me with that. I would have guessed that he probably cost me about $7 or $8 to make. Not at all. $3 he cost to make, which is not bad at all. So he also took me about an hour and a half to make, which I know this is my first time making all these patterns, and I probably could cut it down a little bit, but we're going with the hour and a half that it took me to make him. So at $20 an hour and a half, $30. Okay. Now I should sell him for $33, right? It took me $3 to make, $33. Am I going to sell him at that? No, I would not sell him for $33. I would sell him for $20. $20 is what I would sell him for. So that is a $13 loss. And my earnings for him, I would be making, let's see, I would be making about $18, I think, selling him at, well, I would sell him at 20 minus 4, 17. No, 16. $16. Yeah, $16 is what I would make. Wait, 4 or 3? 3. So yes, $17. Sorry, math ain't mathin' right now. So I would be making $17 on Basil the Bear, which means I would be getting paid about a little over $8 an hour for him. Okay. Well, it was an hour and a half. Yeah, let's just go with $9 an hour for him. I mean, am I okay making $17 for him? Again, yeah, I kind of am. I think I'm okay with it. Like, am I selling myself short? Yes. I mean, $8 an hour, that's less than minimum wage. So I guess I should at least price them. I should at least price them at minimum wage per hour. That's what I definitely should. I should at least give myself minimum wage per hour to make him. So I think actually that's what I might do. I might go on and see what, I don't even know what minimum wage, I think they just raised it. So I'm not 100% sure what minimum wage is, but I'll check that out. And I should at least pay myself that per hour for making these stuffies. So what would you sell him for? What would you sell him for? Knowing it would cost, I should sell him for $33 is what I should sell him for. I think he's a little tiny for $33. I don't know. Like, this I would sell for, normally I would sell for $25, and this I would sell for $20. So that's where I'm at with him. It's eye-opening. Doing this math is really eye-opening. I don't know what took me so long to actually do this, and to figure out my pricing. But I'm glad that I'm doing it, so I know exactly what I'm making and what it's costing me to make these guys, because I was just whipping them up, sticking a price tag on them and selling them at a craft fair, not really knowing. I was doing it very amateurish, not really knowing what it would cost or anything, and I am beyond an amateur at this, so I need to start acting like it. So, okay, we got the bear done. Now, oh my god, this one is probably my favorite one. I love her, and it's definitely a her. I love her. Goldie the Goose. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sell her. Honestly, guys, I don't know. I think I might have to keep her for myself. I know as soon as, like, my mom sees her, she's going to want her. Like, I just know it. I mean, look at this adorable, precious, what words, what other word, cute. I mean, I don't even know. She is just too much for me to handle. Look at the cheeks. I can't. Oh, I am so obsessed with her. I am so obsessed. I love her so much. She just turned out, this was also my first time making patterns by Alpaca Patterns, and I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised. I'm very happy. This looks exactly like the picture, okay? She turned out exactly like the photo in the pattern of what she's supposed to look like. And to me, that is a good pattern. It was easy to follow. I didn't have any problems with it. Is it beginner friendly? I mean, there is some stitching. You have to stitch on the cheeks. You have to sew on the nose. You have to, the feet might have been, I think the feet and the wings you crocheted in. And then you have to do some sewing for the bonnet. She's worth it. I will definitely be making her again. She took me about 2 hours to make because, again, first time making her. I mean, there is also, the bonnet does take some extra time, and so does the sewing. So, Goldie the Goose by Alpaca Patterns. Let's see. How much would you sell her for? How much? I always go by size, so I don't know. I know what I would sell her for because of the accessories and everything. Okay, so for this pattern, I used Premier Parfait Plush, the plush. It's $8 a skein. Well, $7.99, but I just rounded up to $8 because it's easier for me to do the math. So I used white. I used 51 grams of white for her, and that came out to $2.04. Mustard. I used 10 grams of mustard, which came out to 40 cents. For the acrylic yarn, okay, the white and the blue, I used 19 grams total, which came out to 48 cents. And the eyes were 50 cents. Okay, so a grand total of $3.42. If I'm doing any of this math wrong and you're checking me on it, you can comment down below. That's fine. I don't mind being corrected on my math if I'm messing it up. I'm usually pretty good at math, but my brain hasn't been the best after my surgery. It just, my focus is not the way it used to be. So if I'm messing up, you guys feel free to let me know. It's fine. I won't get mad. I won't take offense to it. Correct me if I am wrong. Okay. So the total for her was $3.42. Okay. That's it. $3.42 to make her. Again, shocked. I'm shocked. It did take me 2 hours. She's little. She took me 2 hours. $20 an hour. That's what I would like to charge. $20 an hour. That would be $40, obviously. And the total for her would be $43.42. If I round that up, I should be selling her for $44. $44. That seems like a lot to me. I would not sell her for $44. Not in my location, anyway. I would not sell her for $44. What I would sell her for? What would you sell her for? I would sell her for $25. She's smaller than Monty, for sure. She's like half his size. But, look, I mean, look at all the different work that is put into her. Okay? He's a very easy pattern. He was quick to make. He was easier to make. She was a little bit more intricate and harder. This, you do sew his arms on, and you do sew. So he was a lot of sewing as well, which is probably why it took me a while. The legs are definitely sewed on. I think the arms are sewed on, the ears are sewed on, and the antlers are definitely sewed on. So this was a lot of sewing as well. He was not. He was all, I think the only thing, I think you might have had to sew the head on. I'm not 100% sure. He was very easy and quick to make. I can definitely get him down to like under an hour to make him. Okay, so I would sell her, like I said, for $25. So that means I am at a loss of $19 for what I would be selling her for. What I would profit at selling her for $25, I would profit $21.58. I mean, it's a little low for the work that she was. It means that I would be making $10.80 an hour to make her. Maybe I should raise her to 30. I definitely wouldn't sell her for $44. That I do know. I wouldn't sell her for $44. So actually what I'll do is maybe I'll find out what the minimum wage is. Do that for the 2 hours that it took me. I could probably get her down to an hour and a half. And then price her at the minimum wage for an hour and a half and the $3.42. I'll add that on. And then I'll probably just round up. I love her. I can't wait to make more. I'm definitely making more of her because she's just, I really hope she sells. I don't even know if I hope she sells because then I can just give her as a gift or I could keep her. I don't know. I mean, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with her. She's like so cottagecore, cute, cabinet, warm, cozy. She's everything. She's me. She is Gina the Goose. She is me. Okay, now for the one that gave me the hardest time. Okay, he turned out super cute, but he gave me such a hard time. But I love the outcome. I love the outcome. We'll talk about him. Let me show you. We have Cato the Dragon. Grab him. Cato the Dragon. Look at him. Or her. The sparkly eye. See the floppy head? This is what I'm talking about. Floppy head. Because this is I did not stuff this. I didn't stuff this. This is a snuggie, a snuggler, a lovey. Sorry. Lovey snuggler. And he's a little floppy. So, but he's really cute. Now, let's start by saying, okay, hold on. Let's do a 360 of him. Okay, it might be hard to get him in frame. Let's do a close-up. Close-up. Look at his little face. Look at his little arms. Feet. Tail. Oh, he's got my hair on him. We don't need that. Turn him around. Got his wings. Back side of the tail. More of my hair. Guys, do you get your hair like in your patterns or is it just me? I don't know. I'm starting to feel like I need to wear like a plastic shower cap on my head when I'm crocheting. Let's go this way. More fuzzies. Okay, my little dragon. Look at this dragon. Ah. Cato the Dragon. I love him and I hate him all at the same time. I don't hate him, but So this is not what I envisioned for him. These are not the colors that I envisioned for him. This is not how I thought he was going to turn out. This is not what I had picked out for him. I had the green picked out and I had the yellow picked out, but I also had a turquoise blue picked out for him. So he was going to be green, yellow, and turquoise. Okay. Am I upset with how he looks? No, not at all. I think he turned out, I think I was able to roll with the punches, roll with the flow, and pick out something that would still look adorable. Is he supposed to be two different colors? No, he is not. He is not supposed to be two different colors. His body was all supposed to be one color. I ran out of yarn. I followed what they said, what the pattern said of how much yarn he was supposed to take, and it said less than one skein. Less than one skein of each of the three colors. Nope. So for him, I used the loops and threads, Fluffy Flex. Loops and threads, Fluffy Flex. And I used the mint. This one is pink or rose. And then I also used the white. Okay. So Fluffy Flex is a size 5, bulky. Can you see that? Size 5, bulky. This pattern, if I'm not mistaken, called for a size 6. So I was like, okay, I'm going down a weight in yarn. I'm going down a weight in yarn, and I will go up a hook size. So I went up a hook size, and I got very close towards the like the body. I did the head. I did the ears. I had the eyes on, which I purchased these eyes from someone on Etsy. So I wasn't about to like waste the eyes when I ran out of the green yarn and start all over. I was like, I'm not going to do that because you can't, once these eyes are in, like you can't get them out and you can't reuse them. So I went with the flow and I decided to stick, because the yellow was already in his paws, his arms, so I decided to stick with the yellow and bring in a white so that the white wouldn't be, it was either the white or the pink. These were the only two that I had in this yarn, which is now discontinued because it was a special yarn, so I couldn't even order it because I was just like, all right, well, let me go on Michael's and order another skein of it. Nope, couldn't do it, discontinued. Clearance yarn or out of stock or whatever. It was like a special for the summer. They'll probably get it back in the summer, I'm assuming, but I couldn't get it. And on Etsy, or not Etsy, on Mercari or like eBay, they were selling them for, I think they were like $15 a skein. And I just, then shipping and everything, I didn't want to do that. It would jack up the price of him way, way, way too much. It's already $10. This is $10 a skein of yarn, and I already used one whole skein in just the green, the mint. So I used the white. And I think he did. I do think he turned out super cute. I am happy. But it definitely was not what I was expecting. He threw me through a loop. I had to, you know, dodge, swivel, and try to come up with something that was not in my plan. I do really like the way he turned out, though. I do. Now, he took me so long to make. He took me so long. My hands were cramping. I will not be making him for markets again. Will I put him on my Etsy? I might put him on my Etsy. I'm definitely gonna not, he won't be cheap on my Etsy. and it's going to be a made to order. I'm not going to just have one lying around, and it won't be in these colors, or would have to make another one because I can't get these colors anymore. So he will be going to the market with me. Hopefully I'll be able to sell him. I do think he turned out super cute after all said and done. I am very happy with how he turned out. Everything is sewn on. This is not a beginner friendly pattern by any means. The ears, the horns, the wings, the arms, the legs, the head, everything is sewn on, everything. And it's a lot of different parts, a lot of different parts. This is surface crochet, which was easy. A beginner could do that. But if you're not into sewing and you're not great at lining things up, first of all, I definitely recommend the Ami sticks, which I only use a knitting needle because I knit. So I just get one of my long knitting needles and I use that. I'm not paying extra for Ami sticks when they're really just long knitting needles. So that's what I use. And it really does help line things up to get your sewing done correctly and to keep it in place where you want it. So he took me about 4 hours to make. I think he was 4 hours to make. It took me 2 days because I spent a day just like trying to find the yarn when I ran out, and then when I realized I was not going to be able to get it, I had to sit down and really figure out what would work well with him. And I didn't want to do pink because I felt like that would have been like too much of a contrast. And then I was like, should I just go with the turquoise that I had? But I didn't want to. I didn't think that was going to look good because it's solid. So I decided to just go with the white. And I already had it, so why not use up what I have? And using the smaller hook size on this yarn was torture on my hands. Like, my hands were literally like stuck like in this position. They were cramping and stuck in this position for so long. All right, so anyway, enough about him. Let's get into his stats. He is adorable. I am happy with him. I think he looks just like the photos. He turned out cute. The yarn that I mean, maybe because I didn't use the yarn that she recommends, but definitely more than one skein of yarn for him, for his body. So the green, the mint, I used a full 211 grams. Which is $9.99. I rounded it up to $10. The yellow, I used 67 grams, which came to $1.75. Okay, of the yellow, $1.75. I used, for the white, 105 grams, and that came to $5. I used half of... So he was 1.5 skeins to make his body and ears. And because it's also like these feet are supposed to be in the mint as well. So the mint is supposed to be all of this, the feet. This is supposed to be an accent color. This is supposed to be an accent color. The wings and this are supposed to be accents. The ears, everything else is supposed to be the main color. So, did I say the white already? Yeah, the white, $5. Okay, so altogether, his eyes are $2. So the yarn came to $16.75 for the yarn, which is a lot. The eyes, $2. So altogether, he cost me $18.75 to make. $18.75. 3 hours, 4 hours it took me to make him. Let's just go with 3 because that's $60 already. So that means I should be selling him at $78.75. Let's just say $79. 80. I should be selling him for $80. That's not what I would sell him for. I had another dragon that I made. It was the dragon was a black dragon. Oh my god, he was from a movie. Now I'm not going to remember the movie. If I remember, I'll write it down at the bottom of the screen. I made him. I had him. He was big. He was long, flat. He laid like a flat one, a laying dragon, and I sold him. I had him listed for $45, and people walked by and were like, $45, and it made me feel like crap. So I won't be making really big items anymore because you just don't get what you put into them, and you don't get, they're not worth it. They're not profitable for me. Not out here, not where I am. So like I said, I should be selling him for $80, and I would sell him for $45. That's what I would sell him for. That leaves me with, if I did it at $78.75, like if I, let's go back to the actual price, what I should be selling him for, $78.75. I would sell him for $45. That's a difference of $33.75. If I sold him at $45 and I take out the $18.75, I would be profiting $26.25, which means I would be making $8.75 an hour if I did him in 3 hours, which I didn't. He definitely took me like 4 hours to make. I'm gonna have to sell him more than $45, and then people are gonna be like, stuffed animal for $45, $50. I'll sell them for $50. 20 stuffed animal, $50. I don't know. What do you guys think? What would you do? I mean, I think he's worth it. Personally, he's handmade and he's adorable. Look at him. You can't find this in a store. You can't. This is a very personalized gift. Okay? So I think that's what people need to remember when they're shopping homemade. It's personalized. It's not something that you find in a store. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. This is everything that I made this week. I also had an Etsy order and I had to make that too. So that's not, I shipped that out already. I don't have that, but I made these in the week. These are all my new crochet patterns, and that I had, they're not new. They're new to me because I already purchased them and I had them sitting in my files forever. And I'm so glad, well, she's a little newer, but I'm so glad that I finally got to make them because look at how cute they are. And I definitely learned that it's a lot less money in yarn than I thought it was going to be. Like, I really thought that it costs a lot more to make them than it does. Which I guess equals out to like my pricing because I price them lower than I should. But yeah, I mean, I love them. I think they turned out so cute. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think my pricing should be. Am I on point? Am I not on point? 25, 25, 20, and 45 or 50? Or do you think my idea of finding out what the minimum wage is and selling using the minimum wage plus the, amount of money the product cost and doing that, pricing them that way? Maybe I should be doing that. I don't know. Let me know what you do. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Until next time, which I will have another group of 4. Okay, I have them coming up next week. Another group of 4, which I can't wait. And stay cozy. Bye.